So when you draw the basic shape, I've always liked to start with the head first. Head will basically, the placement of the head will dictate where everything will fall. Now the classic heroic measurement pose is about 8 heads tall, but in reality it's about 6.5. So that's the big difference between drawing like comic book, because everything is all heroic and classical. So how long did it take you to make that costume, Ivy?
Total time about 10 hours.
Holy crap.
The props though were made by a friend of mine at Boku Props. Yeah.
Can you guys hear her?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Can you all hear me? I think so. Okay, cool.
Now, normal people aren't built like Ivy. I just want to let you know. So she's actually a real treat to be here posing for us.
Love you, Frank.
Love you too, sweetie. Can you guys see? So it's 12:13 right now, so around 12:25 we'll have Ivy take a short break and then switch pose, okay? And then around 12:45, 12:50, I'm going to go ahead and collect some of your sketchbooks, and I will critique them. Again, if there's any questions, just shout it out.
How do you exercise before you actually start working? Or warm up rather?
Warm up? Drawing warm up? You're
Correct.
talking to me or her? Me? I basically, there's no warm up. I just go ahead and start drawing. I know some people will actually like to do warm ups, but I'm not one of those guys. I just like to just jump straight in. And if I screw up, I have an eraser. Now, the secret to drawing is to practice every day. if something doesn't look right, then you erase it and start over until it looks right. Now, so some of the body proportion you should know is usually the shoulder is roughly the same width as the hip. In Ivy's case, it might be a little different.
What is the most and least successful drawing you've ever drawn?
Most and the least successful drawing
Like most popular, at least.
was the most popular. I guess female is the most popular. Any female drawings I do. The least popular, probably the dudes. Funny fact about Ivy, she used to be a belly dancer.
I was actually supposed to do that at one of the shows. You're at Deja Soares here.
No, that's right.
Stores?
She was dressed as, was it last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. She was dressed as Deja. And I was hoping for,
With a few adjustments.
yeah, praying for a wardrobe malfunction that year. Last year was Red Sonja, right?
Yes.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
That was full of wardrobe malfunctions.
The chain link almost broke, right?
Yeah.
Rarely. I basically draw everything out first from imagination. And if it doesn't look right, then I search the internet for a photo that kind of, I was going to say something dirty, but kids are here, to match that pose or in that similar pose. So basically, you need to figure out where the center line is, and the body is a self-adjusting machine, so it's always looking for a balance. So once you have the center line, you can figure out the balance of the figure. Now you can't really see this, but her weight is on one leg. So that's the contrapostal position. So if she was straight on, you'll see this, her right side of the hip is higher than her left side. So here's the shoulder, it's fairly straight on, and then if you look at the hips, it's slightly tilted. You guys see that? See?
Yeah.
And the arm always, the hand falls, if it's straightened out, about roughly a little above mid-thigh.
Those kids are having a lot of fun out there.
What are they doing?
Singing, rock band.
Frank, do you normally use regular lead or do you do blue lead pencils? What are your favorite pencils to sketch with?
This, I just use, Pentel mechanical pencil with .7 millimeter lead. I used to just use regular, those number 2 yellow pencils, but I just got tired of sharpening them, so I switched to mechanical pencil, and I've been using this pretty much most of my professional career.
Campaign announcement?
That's right. Every one sex scandal after another.
Hey, you run it home.
I should run because I would never lie,
Yeah.
Were you with that hooker, Mr. Jim? Yeah.
It's a constituent. So you don't really do the blue pencil that much?
No, I never used the blue pencil. I've always been baffled by people who use blue pencil because they essentially draw with the blue pencil and then they go back and go over it with the mechanical pencil, most of them, and then they ink it. So it's like, why do you want to draw it 3 times? When you can just do twice.
How do you feel about digital tools like electronic sketchpad, something like that?
I'm not a big fan because technology scares the crap out of me. And 2, if you're gonna spend all that time drawing something, I'd kind of like to have a final product that I can hold and show to people. It just doesn't feel right to me. I'm not saying that it's bad. It's just not for me. Comic book or in general? I like all the Golden Age illustrators like Howard Pyle, N.C. Wyeth, Norman Rockwell, all the 19th century Royal Academy painters like Sir Lord Leighton, Waterhouse, Alma Thaddeus, Herbert Draper, the Dixie family, Abbey, pretty much all the dead guys. Ivy also used to be a baker. I think she still bakes a little bit, right?
Yes. Actually brought some to the show.
Oh, that's right. You made a bunch of cupcakes, right?
Loaded with alcohol.
How does that work? That doesn't.
Marijuana.
Rum cake?
They're actually chocolate and Baileys. And I also do these really nice Irish carbones.
What about chocolate and nutmeg?
Nutmeg?
Yeah, nutmeg.
That's pretty good.
Doesn't the alcohol burn off when you bake it? The heat?
I don't bake the alcohol in it. It goes on after the cake's baked.
Ah,
So it gets spiked.
doesn't it make make it soggy? No?
You put a very small amount into the cake after it's been baked.
Uh-huh.
And then when you do the frosting, I pretty much put a lot of it in the frosting.
Ah, okay. That makes sense.
3 people usually do it.
3 what?
3 cupcakes.
Really? What kind of alcohol do you use?
Depends on the cupcake. I've done like strawberry margaritas, strawberry cake with tequila, and lime. The Irish car bombs have a chocolate Guinness cake with Jameson's, the Jameson whiskey chocolate ganache in the middle, and then the frosting is Bailey's. So, good stuff.
Fantastic.
Ooh, yes, Grand Marnier is fantastic. And I did your birthday cake too.
That's right. She made me birthday cake when I turned 40. We're in Vegas. Vegas was fun.
It was a boot cake.
Yeah, it was. That's right. It was a big, giant boot cake.
I thought
You didn't hear those. You didn't hear that, kids.
With the monkey boy on top dressed as Elvis.
That's right. That's right.
Nice.
Vegas was fun. Legalized prostitution. You didn't hear that, kids. So essentially, what I do is I do all the shading last. I try to get all the outline first. Remember, there's no wrong way to do art. It's the finished product. So whatever you do, don't get all freaked out if you think you're doing it the wrong technique. The technique really doesn't matter. If it works for you, it works for you. So once you know your anatomy, it can go really fast.
Do you have any favorite anatomy books for like learning?
Besides Playboy?
Huh?
Loomis book is good. Actually, How to Draw it the Marvel Way by John Buscema was like the Bible to me.
Huh.
So that was a really good book. All right, time is it? A couple more minutes, and then we'll give Ivy a little break, and then we'll do a second pose. So when I was younger, I couldn't draw women to save my life. They all look like dudes with long eyelashes and boobs. So don't beat yourself up if you can't.
Wasn't that the way Michelangelo was like, drew women like
Oh, Michelangelo was gay, so he couldn't help it. So yeah, if you want to learn how to draw women, don't look at Michelangelo's stuff. He draws fantastic dudes, but So you got two sisters, right, Ivy?
Yes.
Are they built like you? Parts of them?
Partially. Partially. If you lined us up from the back, you'd see that there's definitely a relation between us all. I'd say my mom more so than my sisters.
Your dad was a happy man.
She doesn't want to think about that. What's your ethnicity, Ivy?
I am half Ecuadorian and half Mexican.
Which half?
Well, the Mexican part are, well, it's my eyes, my nose, and my height. Everything else is pretty much my mom. Go Ecuador.
Yeah.
There you go. If you like culos, go to Ecuador. All right. Let's give her a little break, and we'll do a second pose.
Yes. Ah! Thank you. That is very true, Frank. Did you know this, right?
I do know this. Thank you.
Had you not asked me to do this panel 4 years ago, I would have never started cosplay.
That's right.
Ever. So thank you.
No, thank you. So when I met her like 6 years ago, right? She was this shy girl. I mean, she was this beautiful girl, but she was shy and just
Very awkward.
very awkward and had low self-esteem about how she looked, which was baffling, you know. And then now here she is, a big cosplay superstar.
You're awesome.
So any questions before we start, like in a minute or two? All right. You good?
Yes.
Look up for that girl right there. I like that big butt. You didn't hear that, kids. Remember to send all complaint letters to San Diego Comic-Con.
I gotta say, I love it. Everything is a different kid than the young female. She's giving you the female nod on you.
Are you still belly dancing?
I stopped once I started traveling a lot, but I'm starting back up this year.
Oh, nice. Do you have like a company? How can people book you for stag parties and bar mitzvahs?
Interestingly enough, I do get emails of people asking to book me for private parties. Yeah, I don't do private events. But one thing I am thinking about doing is, like if I go to a convention, depending if there's a belly dance community there, there's usually like Virgin restaurants or like Middle Eastern restaurants that will have belly dancing showcases. So I was thinking maybe contacting them and seeing if I can get booked for like a performance or something there. And then, you know, if anyone wanted to go see belly dance, they could just go there.
So as you get into belly dancing, that's kind of a weird, odd field to get into.
My middle sister, Pam, she wanted to take belly dancing and booked both of us for the class. I loved it, stayed with it, she hated it, and stopped. And started back in 2008. I'm 5'5", in costume, 5'9", 5'10", because I like ridiculous heels.
I think that you were like 5'7", 5'6", 5'7".
Because I'm always wearing heels. when I
Yeah.
do. I was at dinner party last week, Frank. With the tall people.
Yeah, I went to a Spectrum live show last week and went out to dinner with all my friends and peers. And let me tell you, I was the shortest one there. They were all, I think the next shortest guy was 6'1", and that was Mark Schultz. So I'm standing next to Steve Rude, who's like 6'5", 6'6", and I felt like Tyrion Lannister throughout the whole evening.
He likes his horse too.
Yeah, I do love me. Can't say it.
Both upcoming con schedules. Frank, which shows are you doing this year?
I'm doing San Diego, Baltimore Comic Con, New York Comic Con. I think there's a couple of more which I can't think of right now. But San Diego and Baltimore and Big Wow are the 3 shows that I do every year.
For me, it's next weekend I'll be in Houston for Comic Palooza. Then I'll do Phoenix Comic Con, San Diego, Roosevelt Philly, Roosevelt San Antonio, New York Comic Con, Kamikaze, Fan Expo Toronto, possibly London Comic Con. There's a few.
You don't like London? London is a fun town. So, where's your booth at?
Right next to yours. 501D.
So what are you selling there? You're selling prints of yourself?
I'm selling pain and hopelessness. I have a bunch of prints, and the Frank Cho Dead Ass print he did, and lanyards, little odds and ends like that.
Yeah, so come on by and check out our stuff.
As in the prints.
That's right. And prints. Hips bothering you?
Just my right hand. Okay.
It's a lot of weight it has to carry, so
Gotta rub it, Frank.
that's right. And then I wake up on the floor, you know.
Have you always used images as reference, or did you, like, while you were learning, did you use models more or less? Or?
Right.
I got a great view from here, I don't mind. Wiggle it all she wants. Did I use photos, you're saying, throughout my life?
Have you always, I mean, as you're developing, like, your understanding of anatomy and weight and all of that, I mean, did you always use photos as your reference, or? Or I mean, obviously books and things like that, and just provide general guidance. For you, what's worth?
Basically, when I was younger, I used to just copy any images that I liked, from paintings to sculptures, photos. And so I'm like looking at this as that's not right, and then oh, it's Ivy. So, so I used, I looked at a lot of magazines in general, a lot of swimsuit issue, Sears bra catalog, anything I could get my hands on,
Among other things.
among other things. Alright, so we have like about 15 minutes, so about 5 minutes or so. We're gonna stop, and I'm gonna come and collect any sketchbooks or art that you guys have drawn, and if you feel comfortable with me critiquing it, I promise I won't make you cry. Maybe.
Frank, what part of the body was most challenging for you to master, or something that's still a little bit challenging?
I would say the back shoulder area. That's because there's so many different muscle group that kind of works. It's always constantly changing shape as it's moving. So that's always gave me problems. So again, once you figure out the basic anatomy, you can pretty much do anything. So art is one of the few fields where you don't need a college degree. I mean, I have a degree in nursing. Never went to art school. So I was actually talking to an art director friend of mine, and he said, yeah, I mean, they get a lot of art grads that come and apply, and most of them, they don't even bother hiring because they suck. I mean, because a lot of the art schools don't teach the fundamental basics anymore. It's basically do whatever you want, as long as it looks interesting, or it's going to piss someone off. What? Does someone say something? I guess I'm losing my eyesight and hearing things. Alright, so another minute, and I'm going to come collect some of the sketches. I love the pencil. It's one of the most versatile tools that you can use. You can do anything with it. Shading, outlining, it's just fantastic. come collect some of the sketches you guys done, and we'll take a look together, okay? Raise your hand if you want me to critique it. So, so you mind if I draw on it?
Yeah,
Okay, this is nice. They got the basic anatomy down, so you can see where everything, and it's at perspective, so you can see how the perspective works. So yeah. So this arm is a little long. So it should be right around there. Chin is a little bit pointy, but yeah, overall, it's pretty good. Nice job. Alright. So, okay, this angle is always pretty hard looking up because you're doing a forced perspective, you know. So you can see the perspective line, what it's going to look like. So you could have made the leg a little bit longer and bigger. Not bigger, but you know. So with the head is shaped, the leg should have been. So it should have been. This is where about the knee should have been. So you can see huge difference, right? With the leg being a little bit longer, you know what I'm saying? It actually conforms more with the perspective. But nice job. Yeah, there you go. Again, this angle is always a hard angle to do, which I have problem with this angle too, kind of like low looking up. So, yeah.
Could you explain the perspective lines that you're drawing real quick? You've kind of done it on the last 3 or so, and I'm just curious, what are your thoughts with those perspectives or those angles? I don't necessarily gather what you're doing.
Basically, the perspective line is the 3-point perspective where the object is in space. What I'm doing is, as the object is at a different perspective, the object, the visual elements of the object changes. So the head is farther from where you are. So you're basically looking from here, roughly, you know, right here. So since the object is the farthest from you, the head is smaller, and the leg is closer to you, so the leg is bigger. So if you're looking at just pure as a rectangular shape, this is what it looks like. Do you understand? So body has so much different elements to it that it is kind of hard to draw in this angle. Neil Adam is master at this stuff, all the foreshortening and all the perspective stuff. So since the head is farthest away from you, it's the smallest object, and since the leg is the closest to you, it should be the biggest. And what this person has done, did a really good job of basically putting the body in space, in perspective. So, good job. Okay, so this is full-on shot. The chin should be a little bigger. There's the shoulder. I mean, her giant rack is kind of a little, this kind of confusing, but, okay, the kids are here, so. Her giant fun bags.
That's better.
Yeah.
So what I do is when I draw women, I basically draw the basic anatomy first, and then add the bells and whistles later. So once you have the anatomy down, there you go. Again, so her shoulder is fairly even, and then because her weight is on one leg, the leg that the weight is on, that part of the hip is higher, and this leg is lower. So there you go. Okay. Yeah. Nice job. The wig is kind of poofy, so it's kind of deceiving. But
There's a lot of hair in there.
yeah, and also the way that the clothes hangs is also deceiving too, because it'll be like this. But remember, when you draw arms, everything is tapered, so the forearm should be skinny here.
There's a glare. Is it shiny paper? Oh, there it is.
You guys see?
What the heck kind of paper is that?
So everything tapers. The forearm tapers into the hand, and where the elbow is the widest. So here is fairly.
Yeah.
So here is fairly parallel, which should be. It should have a taper. Got it? Much glare. Again, this is kind of off, but see how the figure is leaning?
Maybe we should turn the lights off.
See how the figure is leaning? It should be the center of gravity. So basically, she's leaning on this leg, so that should be the straightest thing. And this leg should be out. You guys see that? Because the legs should always be underneath the head, one of the legs to keep it upright. So a little bad glare. Is that a little better?
Yeah.
Okay. So again, yeah, this is fairly decent. The center, that's the midpoint where the center of gravity is, so the leg is there to keep it upright. So the face is off, but there you go. Yeah, I think this is a pretty decent drawing. A giant fun bags. Yeah, the forearm is a little too long. Should be a little shorter. There we go. All right, we can only do one more. Let's find a good one. Yeah, it's a nice job. I mean, this cloth is deceiving, but the torso's a little too short.
Yeah.
So here's the rib cage. Ivy has her back bumper should come out a little bit more. So, you guys see that? There you go. Actually, this is a decent drawing down. Just little minor tweaks. There we go. She looks like she got 3 legs now.
Yeah.
But yeah, there you go. That's it. You guys did a great job. So